30 or something like that. They only had a few printed, so I had to go with
We're doing something. Anyway, I'm doing something. What she's giving me?
I think I got on.
Thank you.
You're too cute.
She likes y'all when she's with me.
She likes me.
Okay, how do I?
Jake.
Good evening, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates. It's an honor to stand before you today as a representative of our class. We made it to this moment, graduation day. Today marks a moment we've been working hard toward 4 years. It's not just a celebration of what we've achieved, but a turning point to who we are becoming. There are a few people who've made this journey possible. Our families, our teachers, our friends, and each other. Our parents have been our biggest supporters, guiding us with love and wisdom. Our teachers have been our mentors, challenging us to do more, be more, and think more deeply. To my classmates, thank you for being the people that I constantly laugh with, turned moments into memories, and grew up alongside. And to our friends, who have stood by our side, helping us through every win and worry. I want to say thank you. We wouldn't be here without you all in this room. There is one role that deserves the biggest thank you. Our community. Thank you for being the backbone of our success. Whether it's showing up to a ball game decked out in green, or to welcome us home with a good job, we're proud of you. It's not just about the applause from the bleachers. It's about the way people lift each other up, lend a hand in the hard times, and celebrate all the wins. Thank you for never giving up on the kids of Leedey High School. Above all, I want to thank God. Through every high and low of our high school journey, He carried us, even when we didn't realize it. And now, as we step into this unknown chapter, there's such peace in knowing He's still with us. Even when fear or doubt creeps in, we can hold on to the promise that He's already gone ahead of us, preparing the way with love and purpose. I have one last thing to say. To the student sitting before us, say yes. To the late night drives, playing your favorite music, the spontaneous hangouts, and the long bus rides filled with laughter. Because one day, you'll be standing on this stage, wishing for just one more moment like that. Make the most of those 4 years. Thank you.
August 10th, 2011. Barack Obama was president, Party Rock Anthem was the #1 song, and 17 bright and shiny faces walked into Leedey Public Schools to start their education. These students were Brent Boatman, Aiden Boren, Madison Boyd, Landon Bunch, Kaya Carpenter, Connor Clem, Savannah Craig, Keelan Derrickson, Mariah Gill, Jaylee Hernandez, Cooper Jones, Hannah Nance, Noah Pena, Tyler Price, Eli Sandoval, Hunter Watson, and Andrew Watson, with Miss Kent as our teacher. During this year, Aiden hit Noah on the head with a frying pan. Cooper, on the other hand, was often hungry during class. He decided the best snack option he could find was glue. Audrey really knew how to push Keelan's buttons, cutting her in line one day. After having enough of Audrey's antics, Keelan decided that the best consequence was to bite her in the face.
While being Miss Nance's first kindergarten class at Leedey Schools, our class had a very bad biting epidemic with multiple kids going to the principal's office for it. we gained Laney Castle, Weslin Elliott, McKenna Reber, Jordan Seven Star, Kristen Smith, Tyler Welty, and Braden Lee Wilson, while we lost Landon Bunch and Jaylee Hernandez. That was the year that the pre-K and kindergarten rooms got new toilets. Needless to say, Connor was very excited. After using the bathroom, he came out and yelled, "The toilets are huge." One fateful day, Aiden and Cooper decided that they were too cool for nap time. Once Mrs. Nance stepped outside the room, the two rebels went over to the kitchen set, which is still in her room to this day, and started cooking. Mrs. Nance came back and, to her horror, saw that the boys had woke up the entire class and started a 5-star restaurant, with Cooper as the chef and Aiden as the waiter, even attempting to take Miss Nance to her seat. Since that incident, nap time was no more in Miss Nance's kindergarten classes.
In first grade, we gained Landon Bunch, Tara Humphrey, Faith Touchstone, Brooklyn Touchstone, and Jalen Wester. Our class lost Tyler Price, Jordan Seven Star, Audrey and Hunter Watson, Braden Lee Wilson, and Tyler Welty. Our class gained and lost one girl whose name we never learned because she only attended school for one day. This was all with Miss Ferris as our teacher. Connor started the year off strong by asking Miss Ferris how to spell cat in the middle of a spelling test. Connor was a real troublemaker that year. He liked to make false claims to get Aiden and Weston sent to the principal's office for pushing him.
Second grade year, we gained Quentin Frerick and Macy Sandoval, and lost Tara Humphrey, Noah Pena, McKenna Reber, Eli Sandoval, Brooklyn Touchstone, and Jalen Western. Landon fell asleep so often that Mrs. Quattlebaum sent him to Mr. Danielson's for a week straight to do jumping jacks. At the same time, Faith got caught by the custodians throwing her bad grades away in the girls' bathroom, which resulted in a parent-teacher meeting with her parents and Mrs. Quattlebaum. Aiden would finesse himself out of trouble by telling anyone he would give them a surprise. This is how we found out Cooper, Connor, and Kristen were the most gullible in the class.
In third grade, with Miss Trim as our teacher, we gained Brooklyn Touchstone and lost Landon Bunch. This year, we experienced our biggest scandal in class history. We decided third grade math was just too hard on IXL, so we started doing pre-K math. This continued until Miss Trim noticed that no one was making any progress. This led to us getting our iPads taken away. Hannah, Lainey, and Keelan got sent to the principal's office because Hannah told them she could make 100 on the AR test. Let's just say that was not the case. Aiden, showing how gullible our class was, convinced Savannah he was an alien, which she continued to believe the rest of the year.
When fourth grade came around, we gained no one and lost Kaya Carpenter, Savannah Craig, and Quentin Frerick with Miss Shepard as our teacher. Lainey decided she was hungry one day when it wasn't snack time and saw a pen. This led to her swallowing part of the pen. That's where it ends. One day when Mr. Randy Henry was our substitute teacher, our class discovered he was colorblind. Then continued to ask him what the color was of everything around the room. He answered every single question we asked him correctly. One time in class, Weston farted. Bryn grabbed a can of air freshener and proceeded to spray him in the butt. This was the first of many times.
In fifth grade, we gained Chandler Bush, aka Kate, and lost no one. Keelan decided to sit down in the trash can, which resulted in her getting stuck. This year, we gained the infamous Cade Bush. Known for talking a lot, he had to stay quiet the whole day to have a party. 5 minutes before the last bell rang, Bryn was telling Mr. Lauder to lick the whiteboard, when Cade yelled, "I will." The whole class proceeded to jump on him. This year, Bryn decided to become an entrepreneur by starting her business, Super Slimers for Slime. She sold slime and made around $200 that year.
Sixth grade year, we gained and lost no one. This was the year our boys were always hungry. One day, Mariah brought a bath bomb to class. Thinking that it was a giant sucker, Aiden and Cooper decided they were hungry and ate it. It did not end very well. Coach Carpenter was our math teacher for sixth grade math, but instead of teaching us math, we were taught the multiple ways how to skin a cat. During a PE class with Coach Carpenter, Hannah broke both of the bones in her arm backpedaling, adding to the class total of 40, with almost half of them belonging to none other than Cooper Jones.
In seventh grade, we gained Kale Flynn and lost Hannah Nance and Macy Sandoval. Coach Eric Castle got very aggravated with our seventh grade class that year. Mr. Holcomb and Cooper had an ongoing argument about Cooper's famous line, "He is mad." The argument was never resolved. In Kale's first year here, we were in Miss Holcomb's class when he dropped an eraser. When he leaned down to pick it up, Miss Holcomb got very angry. This till he found out Miss Holcomb was not his biggest fan at first. The evening before picture day, Leedey got hit in the eye with a softball. The next morning, she came to school and her eye was swollen and purple. To see how bad it was, look at the 2019-2020 yearbook.
In 8th grade, we gained Charles Kirkwood and lost Brooklyn Touchdown. Charles was known for being a menace in Mrs. Leedey's class. This became known as the Charles versus Mrs. Leedey saga. Charles and Cooper also gave Bryn some interesting nicknames that year. That year, Coach Broadbent was our teacher for trash cleanup. While riding in the back of his truck, someone saw a spider. Faith, being deathly afraid of spiders, jumped out of the truck.
In freshman year, we gained Delaney Acuna, Kenna Baker, Braden Hansborough, J.J. Kelly, and Bailey Wood. We lost Charles Kirkwood. Kayla Mariah had a very dramatic day during freshman year. Mariah was walking down the hall calling him Gingy, which made him very mad. He ended up calling her a very mean name that we don't think was appropriate to share today. It also ended up in Mariah breaking a stall door in the bathroom. One day in Miss Leedey's class, Kenna decided to take a nap out in the hallway. She actually just passed out and our entire class started freaking out. When Delaney moved here, Faith didn't quite understand what her name was. She called her Atlanta for about a week. This is also the year that we read Romeo and Juliet in Miss Leedey's class. During that, we were split into groups of 3 and had to reenact the iconic balcony scene. One of these groups consisted of Aiden, Cooper, and JJ. Aiden, being the creative soul he is, decided to take some creative liberties as director and instructed Cooper and JJ at the end of the scene to come closer and closer to each other. And so Miss Leedey got uncomfortable enough to tell them to stop. They got fairly close. Cade and Coach Robin had a very interesting relationship. Cade loved him, and he hated Cade. Cade wrote in a notebook, let's just say he's supposed to get it back today.
Sophomore year, we gained no one while we lost Bailey Wooden. Cooper started the year off strong by getting one of the worst car wrecks in our class, starting a domino effect with our class having a total of 7 wrecks, including over half the class. During a free hour, our class decided to play silent football 3 times. Keyword, silent. Delaney had a very rough time. She lost all 3. Turns out silence is her worst enemy, right after following simple instructions and basic self-control. Legend has it she still blames it on false penalties people gave her throughout the game. Our class trauma bonded with Miss Leedey over the baby iguana incident that year. We talk about it to this day. During Mrs. Danielson's one day, Aiden and Cooper, surprise, surprise, were making bacon mac and cheese when, all of a sudden, an intruder drill started. By the time the drill had started, the bacon was already on the pan, sizzling and smelling. Since there was nothing they could do, the boys decided to accept their fate and stand in the corner.
In 11th grade, we also gained Nolan and lost Madison Boyd and J.J. Kelly to the class of 2024. We found Mr. Mack's history class, specifically the vocab test, extremely hard. This led to most of our class getting caught cheating, especially Kate. Miss Leedey was strict about putting our phones in the box. However, Carol thought he had bamboozled her by bringing a fake phone to put in the box. This worked until he forgot it. Delaney came up with a bright idea to turn it on to see who it was. When it popped up with the no SIM card notification, that's when Miss Leedey figured it out. She gave Cale a stern talking to the next morning. Obviously, he never learned his lesson. This was also the year that Aiden and Cooper got to A for the first grade class. During this new experience, they learned that taking care of 13 7-year-olds was not as easy as it sounded, especially when they had to clean up their faces after eating dyed cupcakes. Since then, Aiden and Cooper have both decided they're quite not ready to become parents themselves. Cooper made a bad decision junior year. This led to our entire class writing #FC, meaning Free Cooper, leaving our mark all over the school, including the bottom of Mr. Mack's clock.
Entering the school for our last first day, we gained and lost no one. Cooper and Aiden liked to antagonize the girls, arguing with them over anything and everything just for the love of the game. This was noticeable in Mrs. Leedey's over holding women accountable in worst literature. Cade was a menace our senior year. Mrs. Danielson was his favorite to pick on. Every day she threatened to send him to the principal's office. Cade also enjoyed antagonizing Mrs. Ponder, ranging from calling her an Oompa Loompa to hitting on her sister. Cade likes to say someone as his wife, maybe in his wildest dreams. As you can see, we have 13 students graduating today. Had everyone stayed, we would have 38 on the stage with us today. Thank you.
sure where to start this speech, mostly because there are so many directions I could go. But I'll start with this as requested. I have an awesome dad. Congratulations to the class of 2025. We made it. Since I was 12, I've written a note to myself every spring. Just one note a year, always while deep cleaning my room. They started off simple, talking about birthday parties, slime, and the James Charles Morphe palette. But over time, those notes became a reflection of who I was becoming. In 2020, I wrote, "Hey, it's Brenna 2020. I'm not 14 yet, but my handwriting has really improved since I was 11. I'm trying to clean my dirty room. Last night, our high school boys lost to Duke in the state tournament championship, 52-49. I've been watching Tigers play in high school since I was 11, so I guess it was kind of a heartbreaker seeing our seniors for the last time in Leedey High School basketball. I can't wait until I get to high school. I've set only one life goal. That's to win the state tournament." That night stuck with me. We were so close, losing to Duke just by 3 points. It broke my heart as a fan, but it lit a fire in me. I walked away from that game knowing exactly what I wanted. To be on that court, to wear Leedey across my chest. I wasn't even a high schooler yet, but it affected me in a way I will never forget. That's when the dream started, not just for me, but for my teammates, my town, and every kid in the stands who believed in us. Fast forward to senior year, my last year of childhood, my final chapter at Leedey. It's hard to describe what it feels like to realize something is ending while you're still in it. This year has been full of lasts. The last first day of school, the last homecoming, the last time putting on a uniform for each sport, and as much as I've tried to hold on to every moment, it still flew by. I feel incredibly blessed to have made it here, to be standing at the finish line surrounded by people who have helped shape me into the person I am today. And while sports have played a huge part in my journey, they aren't the whole story. My teammates and I have also worked hard in the classroom. We've balanced practices, games, travel, and training with tests, projects, and deadlines. We've learned how to show up, not just for our teams, but for ourselves as students. Our teachers have gone above and beyond for us. They've stayed late to tutor, answered questions when we were on the road, and always held us to a high standard. Their dedication helped us succeed academically, and for that, we're beyond grateful. My teammates and I worked hard all summer and stepped into fast pitch season ready. We were ranked 7th, but we took down number 2 and number 3 and finished as state runner-ups. Basketball didn't come as easily. I struggled, I missed shots, and I didn't feel like myself, but my team kept pushing. When we faced number 1 ranked Omega in the area consolation final, we never gave up. With seconds left, my teammate and best friend Blake hit the game-winning shot. We were state bound. We faced Hammond at Jim Norick Arena, the last state tournament ever played there. We led most of the game, battled into double overtime, and came up short. But I walked off that court proud, not because we won, but because we fought together. Slow pitch brought its own journey. We struggled at first, but we finished with heart. We made it to state, beat Chattanooga, and played our hearts out against Stewart in a tough, emotional loss. It hurt, but still I know I'm lucky. Lucky to have worn this jersey. Lucky to have grown up in a town that shows up and always supports. Lucky to have teammates who became family, and lucky to have been a part of something bigger than myself. Here's what I've learned. Success isn't just about winning. Of course, it is an amazing feeling, but it's about showing up, giving everything you have, and leaving something behind for the ones coming next. For the kids who sit in the stands, watching and dreaming, just like I did. Time has changed everything, and while I don't exactly know what comes next, I believe God's plan is unfolding for me and my teammates, and I'm trusting in Him. So thank you. I thank you, God. Thank you, parents. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, wonderful friends, and a huge thanks to Leedey. This place and these people made me who I am, and that's something I'll carry with me forever.
Carrie Pratt graduated from Leedey High School in 1976. He then attended Southwestern Oklahoma State University, where he graduated summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Science degree in physics, along with minors in mathematics and drafting. After graduation, Carrie worked for Martin Marietta Aerospace in Littleton, Colorado. He has worked for Mason and Hanger, Day and Zimmerman, and Babcock and Wilcox, all at the Pantex plant in Amarillo, Texas. Carrie is currently a distinguished member of technical staff at Sandia National Laboratories, stationed at the Pantex plant in Amarillo, Texas. Carrie is married to Kay, and they have 3 daughters and 4 grandchildren. Carrie and Kay recently celebrated their 41st anniversary and reside in Claude, Texas. Carrie is also a governing elder at Trinity Fellowship Church in Amarillo, Texas, and has served as an interim pastor at the Pampa campus of Trinity Fellowship Church. Carrie's passions are centered on his faith and family. He enjoys woodworking, lawn care, and various home improvement projects. And just let me add, he's also my second cousin. So please welcome to the stage our speaker tonight, Mr. Carrie Pratt.
Thank you, Clint. I did not have to follow this speaker. I had to follow him. That was a wonderful speech, by the way. Good evening, graduates, administration, faculty, family, and friends. I want to thank the graduates and their sponsors for the opportunity to speak to you. You're really the ones I want to speak to. Get from this mic. I also want to thank all of you that are here to celebrate this milestone in these young people's lives. It's an important step into adulthood and a launching point for your future. You heard a little bit about me. I want to say that the training and the start that I received here in this community was a big part of any success I may have had in life. It's been nearly 50 years since I was able to speak from a stage here at Leedey, and so I actually never thought I would do it again. Probably those people out in the audience that know me thought it would never happen again either. So, but I do want to speak to you and give you some advice, okay? And so first, I want to talk to those of you graduates that may stay here in this community. If you see your future in this community, I want to encourage you not to feel like that it's somehow less than aspiring to some bigger venue or a more cosmopolitan setting. When I had the opportunity to return here, I'm so grateful to my peers that have stayed here and built and maintained this community. As a matter of fact, I admire the civic pride and the care that I see in the appearance of the town and the school. I got a tour. Clint gave us a little tour, my wife and I, a little tour of the school before we came in here tonight. Got to see the room where I got my SWATs, the only SWATs I got. So I got to see some memories, but I probably do have an idealized view of Leedey, but I'm sure there are problems here, but there's problems everywhere. That's a part of the human condition. But what you have here in Leedey, and what this last speech just alluded to was, this is a great community. It's a great community to be from. It's a great community to stay here. So to tell you how much I valued what I got here, whenever I found a job that I really liked, I tried to find a place to live that was similar to Leedey. Okay, so the little town I live in, it's a small farming community, graduates about 20 kids, a little more than here, about like Leedey was when I graduated here. And the school and the churches are a big part of the social fabric. And after hearing some of the speeches, it's also a basketball town. So that's great. Maybe not so much a softball and baseball, but my wife, who's over here, was a state championship basketball player 2 years. So it is a real basketball town. There's another story about me not realizing she was good and trying to play horse with her. That was bad. So when I was in my 20s. So if you're one of the people who chooses to build your life here, you're being entrusted with a treasure. This community is a treasure. at least in my mind. And so I encourage you, nourish it, cherish it, protect it, and do what the generations before you have done to preserve it and make it the kind of community you can be proud of. So next, I want to give some advice to the people who are going to strike out away from here into the big adventures. One of the things I want to encourage you, don't look down on your small town roots. Whatever happens after tonight, you will always have graduated from Leedey. You won't be able to change that. That's where you're from. I want to encourage you that the preparation you've had, if you've chosen to take advantage of it, will equip you adequately for life. Whatever you want to strike out and do, your dreams can be big, and what you learned here in this community, it will serve you well. I've been apprehensive at times, thinking that my small town roots would kind of hold me back, and maybe there are some compromises you make about, but probably not very much. But there's a couple of things that this community has done for you that will serve you well in life. First, that there really is a right and a wrong, and doing what's right will always pay off in the end. And the second thing that you should have learned here, and I'm sure just from looking at this class, I'm sure you have, is that hard work and perseverance pays off. That's more important than just about any skill you can have, particularly in the workplace. Being a hard worker is a big deal. Now, I've worked, you heard a little bit about me, and I worked in some really, around a lot of people that are really a lot smarter than me. And I worked with some very brilliant and talented people that could not get anything done. You know, they were very smart, they do a lot of stuff, but they didn't know how to work hard. So let me just tell you, learning to work hard and to stick to it and to do well, that'll serve you well in any part of life that you go into. As far as the choices you will do in life, take the long view. By that I mean, don't just look at what's going to get you a little bit ahead in the immediate future. Look further down the road. And this is particularly critical for the education and training that you choose. You do want to choose something you're interested in, but there's a lot of young people out there, well, and some of them not so young, that have invested a lot of time and energy to get an education that doesn't equip them for getting a job. You know, and so just be careful, be wise about what you do. Don't invest a bunch of time and money in getting an education or training that doesn't help you in life. If you choose to make your way in a big city, there may be some adjustments. Just let me tell you, things in Leedey. So I'm going to go off script here a little bit. So our youngest daughter went off to college. She assumed everybody was honest. She didn't need to lock her bike. No, that's not true. You need to lock stuff up. You know, so there's some things about a bigger place that you'll have to make adjustments to. I do like some things about big cities. I like subways. I like buses and trains and things like that. It's easy to get around, but I didn't choose to live there. I chose to live in a small town. I guess I'm just small town. Okay, some advice for you young ladies. There's a lot of misinformation out there about the role of women in our society. I want to encourage you that you can have noble and ambitious goals, and you don't have to sacrifice your womanhood. I will say that the gender confusion in this country is really damaging the fabric of our society. The fundamental building block of any culture is the family. And a young lady who wants to devote her life to building a family and tending a home chooses a great career. There's nothing wrong with making that choice. For those of you, though, who want something different, there are so many opportunities and occupations that are available to you. There has been this idea publicized that you can have a challenging career, a great husband, great kids, and there's no sacrifice involved. Well, let me just tell you, there's 24 hours in a day. There will be sacrifices. And so what I want to encourage you is that to make that kind of life, there will have to be compromises. Your husband's going to have to help out. He's got to do some laundry, things like that. And I want to encourage you, don't be so ambitious in your career that you don't take the time to enjoy your family. And this goes for you guys as well. Family is the most important thing as far as the relationships you build, not your career. The time you invest in being with your family is time you will never forget and you will never regret. I don't know if y'all are up on this for young ladies. There's something called the 4B movement. Have y'all heard of that? So anyway, it's a new movement. It came out of Southeast Asia, and it has to do with 4 no's. And it's where women they reject men for dating, marriage, children, and sex. No men. This came out of a distaste for the abusiveness of men in our society. I encourage you, don't give up on guys, okay? It's true that us men, we have issues. We do have issues, serious issues. But there is hope for these young guys that'll grow into a gentleman. That could happen. Another thing I want to tell you is don't settle for a man that doesn't treat you with respect. You are so valuable. You're so precious. Don't settle for a guy that doesn't treat you right. Okay, advice for the young men. For you young men, our culture has lost the meaning of what it is to be a man in a lot of ways. In our world, you have these 2 extremes where you have this media and music that is glorifying an abusive, misogynistic man. And then you have on the other side, you have these sort of weak men that timid, soft. And so you have these 2 extremes. I encourage you, don't do either one of those things. You can be a real man, be strong, but be kind. You can do that. I encourage you to be a leader. By that, I mean you should have convictions and be the noble man. Your character should be kind and self-sacrificing. Your relationships with young ladies should be as respectful gentlemen. Most of you will probably marry, and so you become the protector of your family. Much of that protection will be emotional. Very rarely will you have to defend your home from an intruder. Okay, that's probably not going to happen. But you do need be the protector of the heart of your children and your wife. You need to cultivate relationship with other guys that do that as well. You don't want to be having a relationship with the guys that are leading you down a sketchy path. Your home should be a safe place for your wife and children. Okay, enough on the guys. I'm winding down here. The reason I have so many pages is it has to be really great print for me, just to let you know. So I'm a big Denzel Washington fan, and a few years ago, he spoke at a graduation ceremony. I don't know if y'all have seen that on YouTube, but I'm going to repeat the key advice he gave to those graduates. Put God first. This is the most profound advice that I can give you. In everything in your life, put God first. And if you don't know what that means, search it out, seek it out. You know, this saying, what would Jesus do? That's a good way of thinking about it. In this situation, what I'm facing, what would Jesus do? That's a good way to think about it. Researching the scripture, you know, I'm a big believer in that. So I'm going to close my time with a few little sayings that have stuck with me. They've given me guidance at various points in my life. As you heard, I served as a pastor and a church leader. So my guide is the Bible. Even though these sayings are not quotes from Scripture, the principle represented is scriptural. The Bible is a great source of wisdom in this ancient text. That's why it's been a bestseller, you know, for thousands of years. Several of these sayings are from my parents, but they may not be original, but that's where I heard them. The first saying is from my dad. It comes up quite a bit in our house when we're making some kind of financial transaction with a tenant or buying or selling something. And his saying was, you can never be wrong, you never go wrong being generous. And so Whenever you treat people well in the financial dealings you have, then you both walk away feeling good about the transaction. So I just tell you, you can't go wrong being generous. That doesn't mean you need to be taken advantage of, but be generous. The second one, it has to do with financial too. It's from my mom. And this is one of the things my mom says. If you're feeling stressed about money, which, most of us will face some kind of financial stress at some point in life. My mom says, if money will fix your problems, you don't have very big problems. Let that sink in for a minute. There's a lot of problems money won't solve. So when you have money problems, just realize things could be a lot worse. Sometimes you have to take a step back and see that whatever financial problems you're facing, there are much more serious problems you could be facing. Here's another one of my dad's sayings. Age doesn't guarantee wisdom, but that's the way to bed. So that's really speaking for us old people. When you have a decision to face, it's wise to get counsel from somebody that's a little further down the path of life than you are. Old folks are not always wiser. We're not always, but they're more likely to have the experience, to have made some mistakes and say, don't do that, because I tried that didn't work. The friends your own age may have your best interests at heart, but they may not have the experience to give you the best advice. Here's another saying for those of you who have ambitions for your career. If you desire authority, take on responsibility. Whenever you're in the workplace, if you desire advancement, look for ways to contribute beyond what you're told to do. When you see something that needs doing, just do it. Don't wait to be asked. If you're the kind of person who's always helpful on the job, that will bring rewards, promotion, and honor. As you strike out in life and you have ambitions and goals, here's another saying for you. Don't measure success in accumulation of wealth. Measure success about the character of those you mentor, especially your children. I know people that their measure of success is how much money they accumulate. And they focus on it, they always talk about it. But don't get caught up in that pursuit of money so that you wreck your family. The person I'm thinking of, their family is kind of a wreck because that's all they can think about is money. Be diligent in your work, but be focused on the legacy you leave behind in your family. And lastly, even though it may be a while before many of you are raising children, I guess we heard a little comment, some guys are sworn off, they may not be ready for it a long time, but praise your children more for displays of character and kindness than displays of skill or accomplishment. It's fun to see your kids succeed at sports or drama or music. However, I encourage you to praise them more for honesty, kindness, and unselfishness. That will set the next generation on a successful path. And remember this most important thing, always put God first. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pratt. As I look back on the past 18 years of growing up in Leedey, Oklahoma, the one word that I can describe my feelings are thankful. Thankful for the teachers who will do anything to see you succeed. Thankful for the students who are like my siblings in the best and worst ways. Thankful for this community that always picks me up when I fall. From the moment I walked in on my very first day to the moment I walk out for the last time, the support from this school has carried me through. The roots run deep in this community, and the people pour into the youth to help them succeed in any way they can. The rich community that surrounds us here was shown to me at a very young age, whether it be at church functions, livestock shows, ball games, academic competitions, or any type of fundraiser. The people in Leedey show their support. As a small kid, I did not understand the importance of people having your back. As I prepare to go out on my own, the kind of support we have here at Leedey has become more apparent than ever. One day, I know it will be my turn to return the favor to the next generation and show them the strength, compassion, and pride that I was fortunate enough to be shown. From the timid pre-K to the senior I am today, I have grown within these walls. As everything begins to wind down and come to an end, I've thought about what these walls really mean to me. They are more than bricks and hallways. They are comfort, they are family, and they are memories. I have been through all sorts of highs and lows here, from being named chapter FFA president to walking out of the show ring for the last time at OYE, and even rolling my ankle at prom. With that said, it would be wrong if I didn't take some time to address the biggest parts of my life that have helped me reach those successes. To my family, friends, God, and community that have been there every step of the way, I am forever in your debt. I hope that every single person who has had a hand in shaping and developing me into the person I am today truly knows how grateful I am to have all of you. This school has been a constant in my life for the past 14 years. I have been here all the time, through that time, Leedey has always been my home. I don't know any other place that feels like this. And even though stepping out on my own will be hard, I know I will always have a home here as God prepares me for the next chapter of my life. Some advice to the younger classmen. Take it all in. It goes way too fast. Do the packet, the one-pager, the 70-question math assignment, and the essay. Because someday you're going to miss just being a kid here at Leedey High. To my class of 2025, we made it. I am so happy I got to go on this journey with you guys. As always, go Big Green.
Seniors, at this time, will you present your gifts?
For your sake and mine, I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. On behalf of the class of 2025, I want to thank everyone here for joining us for our last hurrah. 5 years ago, when my family moved to Leedey, I look forward to all the amazing memories I'd make here. As I stand here today, I couldn't have been more right. Reflecting on it all, I'm grateful for the memories I get to carry with me into the next chapter of my life. There have been plenty of highs, but of course, with the highs come the lows. To my classmates, when you face those low moments, just remember you only know it's a low because you've already experienced the high. Push through, climb the mountain in front of you. The view from the top will be worth it. Now, to my coaches, thank you for putting up with me over the years. I'll never forget my first basketball team camp after 7th grade when Coach Carpenter had to break the sharing out of me for not hustling back on defense. And Coach B, your first year was a journey. Let's just say showing up 5 minutes late didn't exactly win me any points. But we made it through, and I'm truly thankful you both stuck with me to the end. To the teachers, thank you. Every one of you has been there, not just for me, but anyone who needed support. There's not a teacher here I wouldn't feel comfortable going to if I needed help, and that says everything about who you are. To the Leedey community, thank you. None of this would be possible without you. Your love and support have carried us all this way. Even after the toughest losses, we are always lifted up, unless it's from Doug Claremont. He won't let you hear the end of it. And finally, Miss Leedey always says to finish with a strong conclusion. So here it is. Thank you, Leedey.
Leedey class of 2025, would you present yourself to receive your diplomas? Delaney Elise Acuna. McKenna Nevaeh Baker. Bryn Danielle Boatman. Aiden Allen Boren. Chandler Cade Bush. Lainey Gale Castle. Kale Nicholas Clem. Connor Heath Clem. Keelan Stardon Derrickson. Weslyn Tate Elliott. Cooper Tate Jones. Kristen Nicole Smith. Faith Ann Touchstone.
By the authority given to me by the Leedey Board of Education and the Oklahoma State Board of Education, it is my privilege to declare you graduates of Leedey High School.
I take it back. I have to. Spending time with Zach. Playing the video games. Zach we had to pull over and get this. And then it moved just a little bit. It rained real
Oh,